Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Accucare High School Football Preview Show, Ocean County Edition, presented by the Shore Football Report. Yours truly. I have to give me some perks too. Today we will talk Boro Panthers football with head football coach in his fifth season. I can't believe it's fifth season, Brian Staub. You are a veteran now. 5 years.
Yeah, I guess
5
so,
years.
yeah.
You're the vet. You're the vet.
It goes quick.
And let me say this, and I want to say it in front of everybody. Congratulations, and you have a lot of people that were rooting for you. And what a great story that we have to talk about, especially you. In these 12 months that just everything went from one way to the other. But before we start bragging about you, there's even bigger news that happened than Boro winning a state championship. Two things happened in the Shore Conference with the Shore Football Report. Accucare is our sponsor, our proud sponsor, right around the corner from you. Pam Anthony, the owner and founder, sports physical therapy, has the same vision as what I like in all the athletes, and she wants to be involved in all the programs. And she's going to be a great service for people for recovery, for rehabilitation. And I know the way you train and all that, your athletes not only need it, they expect that stuff too because they want to excel on the football field, right? Is it important for your program?
Oh, absolutely. And our boys are there, and a couple of them are sponsored.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We're all for it. The recovery is just as important as the weight room.
Yeah, I think Skinner's sponsored by Accucare, right?
Yeah, Skinner, Oliphant, Croce.
Not bad athletes right there.
Not a bad trio.
And you know that she will make sure that they will be ready to go because you don't want a Thursday night not knowing if is Croce okay? Is his hamstring okay? How's his lower back? Leave it in the hands of the experts in Accucare. They have the facilities, the state of the art. Us coaches that we don't know that stuff. Well, I didn't. I kind of relied on certain people, and she's a great ally for all the programs, and I'm excited to be in partnership with Accucare. I really am.
Absolutely. It's the truth.
Now, the other one, the mystery hire. The suspense was killing everybody for months. All right, maybe weeks. And Stump is back. Scott Stump is back. You know what's funny? The kids were like, who is he? Right? Yeah. But all the coaches like, yes, he's great. I did a thing on Instagram and 50% knew him, 50% didn't. But I'll guarantee you this, they will know him real soon, right?
Yeah, they're gonna know him. They're gonna love him.
They're gonna love him.
He was covering high school sports back when we played, so he's the man, and we're excited that he's back.
He's excited. That's the thing is that we got him coming back, and he's excited. He's ready to go. He loves to write. I never wrote. I didn't even college. Maybe that's why I was there for 8 years. I refused to write. He likes to write. He's a journalist. I like to talk.
Yeah, you guys will be a good duo.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting.
He's right, and I love it. He's not opinionated, but he has an opinion.
Do we have the Stumpy Awards coming back? Those were always fun at the end.
They were. We're gonna do something, you know that. But
I believe it.
Don't give him any more ideas because his head's spinning right now.
I just remember looking at them always every year. So
It's great. But he's in partnership with us right now, and I think that our program, the Shore Football Report, is just going to get even better this year, and we have to. We got programs like you. That demand it. So
check us out.
Awesome. Let's talk about you. These last 12 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it. I mean, you went from last year, saying, hey, we were 3-6, right? You were 3-6 2 years in a row. I think this team could be special. But actually doing it and thinking about it are two different things. You're going into your 4th year. You probably didn't know what to expect. Probably you felt a little, we always feel a little internal pressure.
Yeah, I did.
And you had an incredible year with so many names that we're going to talk about that are coming back. You win the state title. You win the division championship. You win the state title. You're celebrating. They probably have. Is there a sandwich named after you now, Point Boro? Is there?
No.
Is there a Staub burger or something like that? No. Oh, crazy! At Barnegat, they had a hot dog named after you. It was called the Davis dog. I was a little disappointed because I think it gave just a plain hot dog. It was. I didn't have a good year like you, so maybe I couldn't get.
Maybe one day.
I don't even think the mustard. I don't even think the mustard was included in it, but it was terrible. But you go from a state championship. I want to know quickly, when do you draw the line and say, okay, this was a great season. Now we have to prepare for next season and still keep everybody kind of with the fumes going for that. That was my one question with you. When did you stop it and start going the other way?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty quick. And I honestly remember after the Haddonfield game being at Rutgers, a reporter asked me, how do you move on from this? And it was just kind of fuel the fire. It's going to fuel the off season. How we play this year is how we're going to honor last year's seniors because, we didn't send them off on a high note and we wanted it. And guys like Charlie Vitale, Luke Wilson, Justin Tuz, I could keep going. But I've thought about it every single day, honestly. So we turned the page real quick and we did give them off December, but then January 1, it was on.
That's scary that you're saying that stuff because we all know you got 6 starters on offense, 9 on defense, backups, guys now playing different positions that you knew you had in your program coming back. Listen, you're excited. We know it. You have a lot to look forward to, but you still have that thing in your head with your players that they feel like that the best thing in the world was that worst feeling that they had last year. They lost that last game. Best feeling, best thing that happened for you this year. I mean, right?
It's the truth.
Which is scary.
It was.
Which is scary.
Week after Croce and Davison were talking, and they were angry, and it fueled the off-season workouts.
I mean, which is scary. You have a Division I offensive tackle who's the top recruited guy in the Shore Conference, just committed to Temple, Cole Skinner. He's coming back with all the other pieces there, but they lost in a bowl championship game, and that's crazy because that game never even existed a couple years ago. So somebody's got to lose right away. But you lost that game, even though you won the state championship, sectional championship the week before. That is really driving you in the offseason. I saw your workouts in the offseason.
Yeah, it's true. And I think you said it before. There's something about losing that last game of the year. You just have that sour taste in your mouth. And they attack the weight room like never before. It's the best weight room group we've ever had. And we tell them that. And they're trying to raise the standard. And they're doing a great job with leadership and showing, the incoming sophomores, incoming juniors, just how we do things. So it's a special senior group.
Coach, I want to have you briefly just talk about your process to where you right now are going into your 5th year and you're on top of the world right now. And not only are you going into a season that you're excited about, you're getting married.
I'm getting married.
You're getting married. And if she's listening, that's the biggest thing that's going to happen this summer, right? even though your scrimmages and all that are pretty important.
Yeah.
But you got that, and then you got to go into that season that we're going to talk about too. But walk us through how you started your process to where you are right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 4 year process, and got the job in May of 2018, so didn't have much time, even though I was there the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
We go 3-6. I think we lost 3 or 4 in a row on the last play of the game, but 3-6 is 3-6. Next year, 3-6 again, make the playoffs, lose to a extremely talented Cedar Creek team. Then 2020 COVID year, start the year 0-3, playing Wall, who finished number one. Ramsey came down and beat us up.
Brutal.
Lost to Swan 42-7. So you remember all those things, and that's what drives you. On some of those days, maybe you feel a little tired, you're not as motivated. You think back to those days, and that's kind of why we were so successful last year, was because it was relentless every day. It was fourth and goal. Give us everything you got, and good things are going to happen. And last year's team said, we're ready. And we were hard. We challenged them every single day. That's the only way I can put it.
We talked right before the season, and I remember telling you that kid there, I think, is going to be a big time potential guy. And you said, yeah, he's we're waiting for him to turn that switch. And but you did say this team could be special. And
it was such a good mix of some senior leadership, especially Charlie Vitale, playing Q, some talented juniors with Skinner and Gordon and Salento, Reynolds, Ward, that group, then some extremely talented sophomores in Croce, Oliphant, and boom, Davison. And it was a team. It was a complete team. No one cared who scored. We just have to win.
Vitale was special. I seen him at the All Shore Classic practice. Came up to me, shook my hand. How you doing? You could tell he's a leader, and I hope that rubbed off on a lot of your guys, because we know they're talented, but that leadership that he presents himself with, second to none.
No doubt. He was a great leader, and we're fortunate to have some great leaders on this team. But no doubt, Charlie was the guy last year, and we're excited to have a couple of guys fill that role this year.
So we fast forward from the time you got the job to right now. Yep. Did you see yourself, like when you got board approved that day? Did you see yourself say, "Hey, going into my 5th year, I'm going to have a state championship under my belt. I'm going to have everybody back, and I'm getting married." All the above, right? Did you expect all of this to happen right now?
I mean, I don't know if I expected it, but I thought it. I was confident. I wasn't cocky, but I was confident in my ability to teach and, the passion and love we have for this game. And I think I just had so many great coaches and mentors leading up to this. Mix that with a great staff that, again, is so passionate, that loves this game. And we worked. It was a lot of time, a lot of effort. But yeah, it felt good to kind of turn the vision into reality, and it was all from the players. It really was. They make us look good, no doubt about that.
I got to win your fiance over, because you're going to be on this show many times. I have a feeling this year, so I got to put in some good stuff with this show about her.
She might not listen to a single minute of this ever, but you can pencil me in for the next 30 to 40 years. I got 40.
Tell me something why she's a good football soon-to-be wife.
She goes to every single game. She arranges her schedule. She's an ICU nurse, so she's tough in her own right. But she comes to every single game, and she's a big critic. Her and my father, if things don't go well, they'll tell me I had a terrible game. So she's good. She's a good critic.
Well, that's not going to change. They get more opinionated, those football wives, as you get older.
They expect 40. If we don't score 40, I didn't have a good day. That's the truth.
My wife said to me one time, she goes, you run all these plays, but you know that one play where you throw it to the 6'4" wide receiver and he catches it and he throws everybody to the ground and he runs 40 yards? I go, yeah. Why don't you run that play a lot? You know what?
Again.
You know what? You're right. Maybe
pass the ball more.
Yeah. So they do get more opinionated as it goes on, but they are going to be good fans and all that stuff with that. But you have a lot looking forward to.
It's exciting. Exciting time.
You got a great group of kids that you're coaching. Your staff is as tight as anybody's out there. You're getting married, and we're going to talk a little Point Boro football. So you ready to talk Point Boro football today?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Coach, let me take this off. I don't ever want to talk about mask, pods, COVID. You understand that?
Done.
Let's talk about getting back to normal.
Yep.
The players have not had a normal offseason in 2 years. That means after their freshman football season was the last year they had normal. So they never got to see upperclassmen working out in front of them. They didn't know the ritual. You had to reteach your programs, routine.
Yep.
Take us to now. What is a normal routine now at Point Boro under your direction in the off
So
season?
our summer schedule, we go 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. Monday we start off strong, 6:30 to 7:30 team speed with Coach Val Barnaby. He comes down and he puts the entire program through a speed workout. And the weight room's great, power strength is great, but speed kills. So we added that this year, and it's been some of the toughest workouts I've ever seen. After that, they go do 30 to 40-minute upper body lift. On Tuesdays, a defensive day, so we start on the turf at 7:45, get off the field around 9. Just 1 hour, indie, group, team pursuit, things like that. We start tackling, because we can't pride ourselves enough on the ability to tackle and block. They'll get a lower body lift after that. Wednesday, they come in, just get after in the weight room, hour, all out, get our hang cleans in, full body stuff, and then Thursday's an offensive day where they then finish with some squats at the lower body.
I saw you at the beach workout.
Yep. So one of the days, that was Saturday, 4th of July weekend, and we still had 60, 70 kids show up. So that's the type of commitment we have. But the speed workouts are a game changer, and that's something that's going to stay with Point Boro football as long as we're here, because it was pretty impressive.
How tough was it you as a young coach to go through the COVID off seasons, not knowing probably, if you're ever going to get back to what you remembered as an athlete, what normal was, and then you had to translate it to the kids. So how tough was it, and how satisfying was it for this year?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough, especially when we really started to have something special going, and you just didn't want to see anything happen. Anytime that phone rang and you saw someone, you get a little nervous. But we were just so fortunate, and I'm just so happy that our kids got to experience all that. In terms of the COVID in the weight room, it was kind of a positive when we could only have 10 in there, because we really got to break down everything and teach them how to lift the right way. So yeah, we had to double up and triple up on the time, but now you're kind of seeing that pay off where our kids know exactly how to lift, and that's only going to keep them safer and allow them to be stronger and move more weight. So the weight room, it's our identity, just like the triple option is. It's
That's interesting. So I didn't hear that from other coaches. So you liked it because it gave you individualized attention.
Exactly. We didn't have 40, 50 kids, and some of those, JV guys, younger guys get a little bit, overshadowed. So we broke it down and we taught them everything. So, I was there for 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. It was a lot, but, I was fortunate to be able to do it, and it turned out to be a positive.
You had the energy to do it. 4 hours.
I had the energy. I don't have any children, so it allowed it. I was able to do it.
Okay, Coach. Let's talk about that fun, energetic 2022 coaching staff that you always post, them working out with the players and just having a great time. I love your picks. You're all celebrating and all that stuff. Seem to be really tight unit. Let's hear some of those names of that coaches.
Absolutely. We've been so fortunate to kind of stick through this together, and we added a couple along the way, but that continuity is huge. So we'll start with our coordinators defensively. Coach Shane O'Connor played at the Boro, holds almost every passing record as the quarterback, went on to play safety at Muhlenberg. Our two special teams coordinators, Dave Johnson and John Matos, they were so important in last year's turnaround, and we preach that offense sells tickets, defense wins games, special teams wins championships, and the kids bought it and they believed, and then they actually got to see it firsthand. So
you had a couple kick return touchdowns too.
So 2 kick returns by Matt Oliphant. We have 2 different kickers. We have our field goal kicker and
Yeah.
senior Bobby Braden, junior Braden 4 and then our
Hmm.
kickoff guy is senior Bobby Cooper. So it's pretty cool to have two. And then our punter Matt Olfont, he's a weapon for some fakes, things like that. So they do a great job with that. We'll talk interior line, O line, Ryan Canary and Kyle Ryan. They're a great duo. They get after it, and our O line's everything. The backs are not going to run wild without the O line. We tell them that, and they know that. Switching over to the D line, we picked up a good one. Coach Nick Sipot from North Brunswick. He was there for 9 years. His brother Mike's actually the head coach there. So this is his first year, but he's been all in. He's been great in the weight room, great on the field with techniques, and the D line guys are loving him. He's assisted by Eddie Kendall, who played at the Boro and played defensive end at McDaniel College.
Hmm.
Two linebackers coaches, John McDonald in his second year, so he had a pretty nice year last year coming on board. And Dan Jimkowski's been there a while. He's also another former Panther. Offensively, Tom Orrock does our slot backs. He's our eyes in the sky. Up top, one of my best friends knows the triple inside and out. And our freshman coaches, head coach Pat Brady, also the head wrestling and head lacrosse coach. He's the man. And Coach Greg Lins, who's the guidance counselor at the Borough. So we're so fortunate to have this staff, and they really do just an unbelievable job.
Yeah, multi-sport coaches, which is
Absolutely, yep. Multi-sport coaches.
which is
Yep,
very important, as you know, especially in a smaller school like
exactly,
yours, right? Um,
exactly.
is there? I mean, they come up with these great ideas, and you always tell me they motivate the kids, and if it's about the kids, then let's do it. Um, are you? Are your coaching staff have anything to motivate your kids now more, which might be harder for them, knowing that the other kids already won a championship in the past. And now, how do we motivate them now as a staff this season?
Yeah,
Besides
yeah,
saying the loss and all that.
yeah, yeah. And we love using real game life examples, and we lost two games, but both of those games we were up 14-0 to start. So kind of the one of the main messages was we got to finish, and not just finish the game, but
Finish.
finish every drill, finish every play, finish the quarter, finish the half, finish the game. So that was kind of the one of the building blocks, the springboards for this year was we got to finish.
All right, coach. Now let's talk your 2022 football schedule, and it's a tough one, and a tough one expected after winning a state championship. I want to hear your input on this year's schedule.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough. It's definitely going to be competitive. We like it. This is where we think we belong. But we start off home versus Neptune, very dangerous team. Return a couple good running backs, skill guys. Coach Duffy, does a great job. I've known him for a couple years, so that's a tough one. Then, of course, the rivalry with Manasquan. Lost to them last year, so we're definitely looking forward to that one. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the short, Patton, and dynamic running back Jameer Howard. So that definitely presents some challenges. Then go to Homedale, which I think they're so much like us. Just pound the rock. We see their weight room videos up on Twitter. They get after it, so that's going to be a physical, run the ball type game. Raritan, very similar to us as well. Run flex, run pistol triple. State finalist. I feel like Raritan doesn't get enough credit maybe that they deserve, but what a program they are. Then go to some of the bigger schools, Tom's River East. We haven't played them in a while, so we're excited for that challenge. Monmouth we played twice last year, playoff team. They also returned a ton of starters. A couple guys up front, quarterback returns, Julian Jones running back, third team all shore. So we're excited to see them again. Barnegat has always been a B South rival of ours. So that's gonna be a good one. And then we finish with St. John Vianney, non-public school. I think they were ranked fourth coming in APP's preview. So they bring back talent. Antonio Rosario, definitely a good dual threat quarterback. So we can't wait. We're excited, and we're just going to take it one game at a time.
Coach. That is a tougher schedule, but your division. You're now moved out of your division. You moved up,
Yep.
and looking at it, first of all, every team there made the playoffs.
Yep. Yep.
You know, you have Raritan, who was in the state finals. You have Manasquan, who's your rival,
Yep.
was to the
State semis.
state
Yep.
semis. You have Monmouth, who won their division championship and moved into the division. You have um,
Homedale.
Homedale, who was in the state playoffs
Yep.
too, and St. John Vianney, who also played a tough schedule and was also in the state playoffs there. I mean, that is a tough
A good
division.
division. That's a
Everybody
dogfight.
was state playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to be close. It's going to be competitive. I can see it being one score games. But it's what we want. It's what we want to play in big games. We want to play in competitive games, and we think this is only going to get us, better and more prepared for playoffs, which hopefully we make. So it's exciting.
I got one game I want to talk about briefly.
Yep.
Is that you played them in Thanksgiving in
Yep.
years past.
Yep.
Now the game's moved up,
Yep.
and very interesting because expectations are very high at Manasquan, like every year,
Yep.
and you too, and you too.
Yep.
And now
Yeah.
you're playing them right in the beginning. They beat you. You win the state championship. I mean, friendly rivalry.
It's got all the storylines you could want. It's actually their first game.
Yeah.
Our second. They travel well. There should be anywhere from 2,000-3,000 people at Alsaner, and we're gonna get it on. It's gonna be a good time.
I have a feeling the Shore Football Report might be there.
You should be. It should be the game of the week. No doubt, game of the week.
As long as it's a friendly rivalry, which they have a lot of respect for you, and I know I've heard it from you guys too. A lot of respect for them too, and it's just going to be a game with a big build up. But you want to play in those games to get you ready for the future too, right? For the season.
Exactly right. Exactly right. The bigger the game, the better we play.
Coach, let's hear what you guys are running offensively, defensively with your schemes.
Yeah, so offensively, we're a true flex bone triple option team. Our base set, you got the 5 linemen, wide out on either side, slot back on either side. Then you got that true fullback, and the quarterback makes all the reads. He makes it go. On defense, we're a true 3-3 stack team. It looks like a 3-5-3, and you will see some more 4-man fronts to kind of play to our personnel. We got some big boys who can move. So we got to get them on the field. So that's basically it in a nutshell.
You have done that in the past. All of a sudden, a 4-man front came out, and maybe your third down defense came out on 3rd and long. Usually, it was after 3rd and 10. You would have your different philosophy in the past. But yeah, you utilize your talent, and the one thing that you do on defense, Coach O'Connor, he just winds them up and has them, and they're going 100 miles an hour.
They're going fast. They're going hard. It's a gap defense, filling their gaps. Bringing a variety of blitzes from different angles. But yeah, the 4-man front, we did that in the state semis, the state championship versus Boro, and it paid off. So look to see that a little bit more from us this year.
You go 100 miles an hour offensively, and defensively you're coming too. You have to, if you're playing your defense, be aggressive because you're attacking at all times. So you can't be very passive. Like you got to be aggressive with your reads and you're going. But that's a good philosophy because you guys are always strong and always conditioned well, and that's your philosophy, both offense and defense. We're coming after you every single second.
That's it. We think we're going to be even a little bit faster this year just because of the amount of guys that we return. So, they know with July work, we're definitely ahead of the game, speaking in terms of other years for July. But we're excited. We're just trying to get better every single day in every phase.
Coach, I love this part. We talk about top position groups, and I did a lot of research on all the programs. Of course, talking to you and other coaches, watching film, and I try and figure out every team. What is their strength, their unit, not their best player, but their unit. So allow me to interject to you, and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. How's that?
Yep. Sounds good.
We'll go offense, defense, and special teams. I think that Point Borough's strength of their offense, and hear me out, because I know you love all the positions, is your backfield. And now let me tell you why I think your quarterback running backs, Matt Oliphant, Jake Croce, Tyler Gordon, and Connor Ciliento, they must have. I have them for over 2,200 yards of offense.
At least.
I don't think you're going to argue the fact that that may
No.
be your strength of your offense, right?
It's a lot. It's
Good.
a lot. It's the truth, though. And, every single one of them is a dynamic playmaker. And we'll start with Oliphant at Q. He ran this
Love
offense.
him. Love him.
In terms of being an athlete, he's our guy. In
Love him.
size, strength, speed, playmaking ability. He ran this offense in 7th and 8th grade. He dominated at the freshman level. We had
Last
a
year,
package
too.
for him last year. He was all over the field making plays. So we're excited to have, arguably our best athlete touch the football on every single play. Fullback, we got a good duo. I kind of call it Thunder and Lightning. Lightning's Croce. He's the big play
Yes.
ability. He's a little faster, a little bit more shake to him, but he can take it from 80, 90 out. He ran for 1,100, 13 mile short last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyler Gordon's the Thunder. He's the bigger power back. We used him on a lot of 3rd and 4th and short, but he's going to get a little bit more time this year. He really had a great off season. He's tough to bring down. And then on the outside is Soleno, the kind of the playmaker. We can pitch it to him, throw him the ball, but he's got to get the ball too. So it's a good problem to have.
Coach, I mean, all 4 of those guys, first of all, Matt Oliphant, we all knew, who you had. You had a guy coming, he's doing kick returns for touchdowns. He's playing defensive back who he's just an incredible athlete. Jake Croce is your guy who started as a freshman and kind of turned it on in that second part of the season.
Yep.
Gordon's interesting because he started showing that he could play offense too. And you're like, wow. And then Ciliento, something about him, like you forget about his plays that he makes, and then you go, wait a minute. He had an 80-yard run. He had a 50-yard touchdown. He had a great return. He deflected a ball. He's all over the place. That's 4 dudes right there that you have.
4 dudes. They really can. It's exciting. It's exciting, and those 4 are going to be the majority of the ball carriers, and we'll get them, touches in different ways. But if they get past the second level, they're gone.
Let's talk defense. So we're going to push these guys to the side. Go get your drink of water, boys. All right. Now here's your defensive guys. I think this is your strength. You're active on your linebackers, your DBs. You got a whole bunch of them, but I think your strength is your D linemen. And hear me out. Connor Reynolds, DN. Aiden Ward, a DN. 2 senior DNs off the edge. Very active. Love them both. Can't tell them apart in terms of their productivity. They're both good. And then boom in the middle. Charles Davison, a junior.
Yep.
What a reputation he has, and he backs it up on his film. And he's even a harder worker in the weight room. And then Cole Skinner, who also will spell that way. Those are 4 dudes that control the D line, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and they were so instrumental, in those playoff wins. Connor Reynolds, 3-year starter. He started as a sophomore, and anytime you start a sophomore in the line, he's going to take his ups and downs. And all 4 of these guys are 4 strongest guys in the weight room, and the weight that they move is unbelievable. They all returned. Aiden Ward and Reynolds, very similar in body type. They're a little bit faster, strong as anything, and then the 2 bigger guys in the middle. Boom started last year. He really turned it on in that second half, kind of turned into a man. And then Cole Skinner, 6'5", 305, and he can move. He can move, and we went up to a lineman challenge up in Sayreville.
I heard.
And we didn't win it all, but most importantly, we won the tug of war, and that's kind of where you turn some heads because we were beating some good teams.
I got one question: where this term "boom" come from?
that was his AYF nickname, and the first day I met him, he said, "Hey, I'm Boom," and I said, "I'm good with that." And I didn't even know his first name for a couple of weeks, but I said, "That's gonna stick, Boom. We're gonna be all right."
It's nice. It's nice. Now your kicking game, your special teams. I actually gave it away. You got 2 good kickers. I got to say, it's your kickers. You have a junior Brandon Forfer and your senior Bobby Cooper. both
Yep.
complement each other, and both are threats in their own way, right? At kicking.
Yeah, they are, and I would be crazy to not mention the amount of time and effort that Coach John Matos, one of our special teams coordinator, has worked. He really came in, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a kicking guru, and he changed everything last year. Before four, he's our place kicker. He was excellent last year. I want to say he was 84, 85%. Trust the kid to death, and he's going to have an unbelievable year. And then our kickoff guy is Bobby Cooper, and he's got some specialty kicks, and he can put that ball anywhere. So opposing kick return teams, I think they worry about where that ball is going because you don't know where it's going, and we're trying to get it. It's not just kick it off; it's go get the ball.
I think opposing teams are worried about the 7 or 8 different kickoffs that he does because you score that many touchdowns in games.
It's true. We recovered a decent amount, so
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
So I was kind of right with those 3 position
Absolutely.
groups.
No brainers. I would agree. 3 for 3.
I have a drone that goes over your program. I don't know if you seen that, but
Send me that film. I'm trying to get practice film by a drone, but it's good. It's good footage.
yeah, it was tough to break it down, but I think I hit it. It made me feel good. I hit it pretty good, right?
I think so too.
Nice,
I do.
nice. Coach, let's hear about some returning players or newcomers that you have that you're really excited about for this year.
Yeah, sounds good. So we'll go offense, and we got to talk O line. As a former quarterback, you treat your linemen right, and they win the damn game. So we're starting with them. Working from, we'll go left to right. Left tackle, it's open, and we have some good competition going. Senior Joe Mazzaro, senior Jack Stencil, junior Zach Law. At left guard, we have seniors Mike Smith, senior Spencer Knapp going at it. Our center right now penciled in is senior Declan Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
He saw some time in some tight end sets last year as that extra offensive lineman. Right guard, returning starter, Boom Davison, and then right tackle, of course, Cole Skinner. On the outsides, we return one wide receiver in senior Brian Oreo, who had a couple touchdowns, a couple nice catches last year. We have seniors battling out senior Brandon Sloan, Eric Analonis, senior Tommy Morris, juniors Wyatt Dasaki, and Braden Forfar our kicker could also be out there. The slot backs, returning starters, Connor Saleno and Sam Maraglia, who is one of our most valuable players. His leadership is off the charts, and the things he does on both sides of the ball are unbelievable. The fullbacks we mentioned, Croce, obviously, 3-year starter. Gordon's back, and also sophomore Dylan Rittmeyer could see some time as well. Other slot backs could be Brian Samos Jr., junior Jason Bennett, and seniors Tyler Criscolo, and then a sophomore Colin Obser has been impressive so far. Defensively, we talked about the D line, Reynolds and Ward. D ends returned. Interior guys, Boom and Skinner. Linebackers, our middle linebacker returns, J.J. Bennett. He had 100 tackles last year. He was our leading tackler. He's back. On either side of him, Tyler Gordon, and the other stack guys between senior Maddox Samaritano and then sophomore Dylan Rittmeyer are outside linebackers who we like to call snakes. Sam Raglia, returning starter. Jake Croce, returning starter. Obser has been impressive, as well as Criscolo and Samos. And then defensively, D-backs, Matt Oliphant returns as a DB. He could definitely still play there, even if he's the quarterback. And then seniors Brian Oreo, he started a couple games last year. Free safety Connor Saleno and Samos and Bennett have been rotating as well.
Wow, that's a lot of names, man. A lot of names.
A lot of names. It's still up for grabs.
Yeah.
We told the guys, we don't care who you are. We don't care what division you made, whether you're first team all shore. We're going to compete all the way. And just if you start the first scrimmage, doesn't mean you're going to start the next one. If you start the first game, doesn't mean you're going to start the second game. So it's open. We have some good competitions going, but that's what camp and the scrimmages are for.
You want to be relevant when you coach and when you play. You want your teams to have something to play for, and which you do. The obvious. We know what your expectations are. I don't have to ask you that. That's got to be exciting.
It is. And and the scout guys, are buying in and they're competing. And if you dominate on the scout team, we will find a spot for you. So it's practice has been unbelievable, and that's one of the reasons we were so successful last year was because our scout teams,
Yeah.
what they were able to do week in and week out. So it's impressive, and it's every single person has a role in this team.
There's just something, everybody's excited when you bump into somebody, when you go out to Tom Driver or somebody from Point Boro, there's just this, they're excited about this year.
There's some, it's a special group. It's the accountability, the commitment, the effort. They're a coach's dream. It is an absolute pleasure every single day to be around them. They're so respectful. Anyone in the community, they do the right things, and as long as we keep doing the right things off the field, we'll have a chance to be successful again on the field. So it's a special group. I'll say that it's player led.
Okay,
Good on good teams, it's coaches. On great teams, it's players. It's player led.
coach, we
Yeah,
know we know you got those great players that you love. We know you have those great coaches that you love. Now you got to press pause, and then you have to get married. All right,
just
you got to
yeah,
get married. I'm sure you're
gotta
going
get
to talk.
married.
I'm sure you're going to talk some football during that wedding somehow when you get another bite to eat at the
Yeah,
table and you see some of your coaches and you talk, and then your wife will come in there and you pretend like you weren't talking. I've been there, done it. All right. Um,
yeah.
just a lot to look forward to. Enjoy that moment with the wedding because you already got your football family waiting for you. Of course, your wife's your family at home and all that stuff. You got so much to look forward to. You just do. I'm real happy for you. I'm real happy for you. Keep it going, and I'm waiting for that
Thanks.
sandwich to come out because I'm going to start going to those
Sounds good.
restaurants.
Sounds good.
I'm going to go to those restaurants. I'll go to Idle Hour. I'll demand it. I'll demand it. I want a Staub burger, right?
Sounds good. Let me know what they say. We will see.
Wonder how much it would cost. Probably a
Probably not.
lot,
Probably not
knowing
too
your
much.
celebrity status. But
I don't know
yeah,
about that.
but
We need more state championships.
yeah, well, you're definitely in a mix. Nothing's guaranteed.
Nothing.
Nothing's ever guaranteed. The football's shaped very weird. It
It
bounces.
is. It
You
bounces.
know,
It bounces funny sometimes.
it does sound funny.
It's the truth.
I always feel awkward talking about it because you just never know. You don't know what something's going to happen from one day to the next.
Everyone is out there working. It's everyone's doing the same things, but how much better can you do it with your effort, with your execution? It's all in the details.
I will say this though: you were the hunter, all right, or what were you? You were the hunter, and now you're being hunted.
Hunted, exactly. There's a target on our back, and we're embracing it. And this is where we wanted to be. 5 years ago, we wanted to be here, so we're excited for it. But at the same time, people want to be at the top, no doubt about it, and everyone's going to give us their best. So we can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, you can't shy away from that. Like, it's
No,
hard. I
never.
always said this, coach. It's easier to get to the top than to stay at the top.
That's what I love Saban. He's my favorite one. He's my favorite coach of all time, and it's no doubt it's way easier to get to the top. It's hard to stay up there, and no one's done it better than him. But yeah, we're trying to stay at the top. We're trying to be the mountain.
Awesome. Pleasure having you on this show. This will be out tomorrow morning, and we're
Sounds
going to
good.
see how Panther Nation, or they call it the Panther Pit.
Panther Pit.
Let them go with this, and let's see how many views you get in your preview.
We want to be number one. We'll see.
Yep, you're going to be number one. All right, Coach. Thank you very much coming on the show. Wishing you the very best in your busy next couple weeks.
Busy,
right?
Busy but fun.
I'll talk to you soon, Coach.
Sounds good. Thanks, Coach.
Players and 3 outstanding ones on the field, and even better off the field. And may I say, champions too, right? Feels good to be a champ, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I'm going to jump on the bandwagon like I'm a champion too. But we didn't lose a game last year, the Short Football Report, and we're going to go undefeated this year too. That's a spoiler. All right, cool. Let me introduce you guys and let me get right into it. I'm sure you got stuff to do tonight. To the left, we got the outstanding slot receiver, outside linebacker, Sam Maraglia. I pronounced it right.
Yeah.
To the right, we have outstanding offensive tackle, defensive tackle, Cole Skinner. Cole. And to the left on the bottom, we got Connor Ciliento, the multi-purpose slot receiver, /safety and returner. Did I say it right? Everybody's names.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, thanks, guys, for coming on. It'll be just 10, maybe 11 minutes, depending on how you do with some of the questions. But I'm excited to hear you guys talk. Listen, there's a big fan base following of you guys now. You guys were just state champs. You got a lot of guys back. We know you have a lot of guys back. I love the team unity. Oh, my God. I love it. I love the beach workouts that you guys were doing. Boy, that was hitting big time when I posted that. But you guys are bonding. And I told Coach Staub before the season that I said, Cole, you're going to be a big time recruit. And I said, B, your guys are going to be winners because the way you were going after it in the weight room and you were connected, you were bonded. And that's what Point Boro program's all about. You guys stay united. It's a real tight community. And, you guys had a great season and looking forward to this season too, right?
Yes, sir.
Real quick question. At what point do you put last year to bed and start focusing on this year? What is the time period where you say, all right, let's stop talking about what we just won and now what we need to win this year from you guys' standpoint?
For me, it was when minicamp started because that kind of signals the start of this new year, new team. It's a new season. That's all behind.
Right. What do you think, Sam?
December 5th, right after the last game.
I was just about to say that, yeah. it was a mix between that and, like, when the seniors, like, started leaving all of our group chats, everything from last year.
Yeah.
It was, that's when, like, wow, it's, like, actually that time now.
When you start changing your group chat and say the seniors leave and you start adding the freshmen, right?
Exactly.
Spoken like Bill Belichick. Well, let's have fun. 5 questions. The Shore Football Report knows all about you guys from the outside in with your athletic ability, but now the Shore Football Report wants to know what's inside that locker room in the program. I have 5 key questions that after you answer it, I know everything about you guys. All right? You ready? Let's have fun. First question. Who's the funniest dude in your program? Number 1 question. Who's the funniest dude in your program? I see you guys working your tail off, but I also see you guys having fun, high-fiving, laughing, and all that stuff. Right now, I want you to tell me who is the funniest dude in the Point Boro football program. Start with you, Connor. I want Connor to go first because he's laughing right now.
I don't know. That's a tough one. We got some characters on our team.
You do. More characters than Disney, I heard. But go ahead. Yeah.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I know Sam's always wanted to lighten the mood a little bit, though.
Yeah.
All the time.
There's nothing wrong with that. He can pat himself on the back. He's pretty funny. So, Sam, besides you, there's got to be somebody else that kind of is competing with you with getting those laughs out. Who is it?
Oh, Boom. Charles Boom.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Me and Sam were just talking about this yesterday, how to answer this question. Because it's not the funniest, but it's the stupidest remarks that he says.
He gets you guys. He lightens the mood up a little bit.
Yes, he definitely does.
And boy,
next time you talk to him, just ask him if the witches are out.
Listen, I might not be able to do that live on an Instagram. I'm afraid of the answer. Cole, besides Boom and Sam, there's got to be one more person out there. Is it you or is it somebody else that kind of keeps the mood going?
No, there's actually they're twins basically. It's Boom and Ward. They match each other to create one person. We say those two combined create one whole person.
Really?
So yeah.
Send them out to the coin toss. You'll have the other team giggling before the game, right?
Exactly. You can't hate them.
No, wow. So they got personalities, those two, huh?
Yeah, 100%.
Interesting. So when I'm on the sidelines and hear you guys giggling, Boom, knock it off, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Nice. 2, who's the leader? Coach Staub needs a message sent out to the whole program. There's usually one guy or maybe 2 guys that echoes it out with mass text messages, like you said, the group or Snapchat, whatever that thing is. But who's the leader that voices it out, that what the coach wants out? Connor.
100% Cole. 1,000% it's Cole.
Went from 100 to 1,000 in real quick. Cole, would you agree? Are you that dude?
I agree on that, yeah.
Mr. Technology over there, huh? Nice. Sam, is it a no brainer? It's him.
Yeah, Cole. He's not gonna brag about it, but he went out to Costco. Him and a kid named Joe Mazzaro, and bought us $200 worth of chocolate milk for after practice, so and have a nice little snack before weight room.
Well, linemen do think of the getting those calories in, right?
Exactly. Gotta get the proteins.
Good for you, Cole. That's great that you're being a leader on and off the field because we know you're a leader on the field. I love when you bring the flag out. I love it. And I told Coach Staub why college coaches like seeing that stuff. It shows your personality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love that. I mean, you really were definitely all about being a leader with the flag and all that. Sending text messages. Do you have to get on certain kids? Don't mention their names if it's true. Where are you? Practice started 10 minutes ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is that normal in your place too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Okay, good. Did you ever have to text yourself? Where am I? No, you're always there on time, though, right? Good.
Yes.
Number 3, back to normal, guys. For the last 2 years, you haven't had a normal off-season workouts. You haven't. Camps haven't been normal. Just life hasn't been normal. So from after your freshman football season to now, having your first normal off-season workouts, how was it? And of course, it worked because you guys got things going on right now. But how was it this off season?
I think it was good. Just because like last year, that was when like the time that we were actually starting to get out of it and like move on to normal. So it's like kind of the same thing. Obviously, last year we were in the weight room for over a year. Like football didn't end. We really like this year we ended on December 4th.
Yeah.
And then we started back up in weight room on like December 11th or something. So it really didn't end. And that was the same thing as last year. Obviously, we ended early, so we didn't start weight room until later. But it's the same schedule. We still have weight room, so it's like the same schedule kind of. And then field work, obviously, you couldn't start until a certain time. So it was kind of the same, I would say.
Good. Sam?
Our coaches just did a great job, I think, with just incorporating last year into this year. It's pretty much the same. I noticed that. Well, I've been playing football for a while since I was pretty young. Mm-hmm. So this was the most, like, last year was very normal for me. I guess 2 years ago when I was a sophomore, it was very different. I was, like, barely practiced hard. Not because we weren't a tough team. It's just we couldn't because of the rules. We couldn't, like...
Yeah. I don't think we started practice until, like, July 15th or something that year.
No, you're right. I think it was around that. Yeah. Connor?
I mean, I can't speak for before high school or any of that, but so it's all kind of the same for me because I didn't start playing until freshman year. So it's all kind of been the same for me.
Good. I know Coach would post, or one of you guys would post your workouts. You're doing these cleans and all this. And right away, I'm calling up Coach Staub going, who's that dude? Who's that guy? Who's this guy? Who's that? Oh, he's a sophomore. He's the quarterback. I'm like, what? And you guys were all like pumped up, screaming, yelling, high-fiving when he did it. Like it was intense. Were you staging it a little bit? Like, I'm filming it. Let's all pretend we're cool, or that's normal?
That's normal.
Okay. Because I'm going to sneak in there one day.
That's normal. Yeah.
That's great because there was a lot of excitement there and encouraging the guy. And when you get your personal best, high-fiving it. And I love the fact that you all retweet, you all like stuff when it's posted. It's all about the team at Point Boro, and it's very evident. It really is. So, number 4, expectations. I'm talking to, I've talked to Coach Staub all the time. I talk to all the assistants. I want to know what the expectations are with you guys now. You just came off a state championship, and now the locker room door shuts, coaches aren't around. What is it inside the locker room with you guys and all the other guys? What's the expectation for the 2022 season?
I know with our group, I think coming from me is at least to get back to Rutgers, but we want to win it this time.
Yeah.
We don't want to have that feeling for our last game. We want to go out on top.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I think better than next year or better than last year. I don't think any of us are really satisfied with what happened last year. So it's like, yeah, we won a state championship and then we went on to lose. So it's like it still gave us that feeling that Connor said. So it was like it was a pretty good feeling, but not what we could have achieved.
Sam?
Undefeated and being the number 1 scoring offense again and becoming the number 1 scoring defense in the league or in the short conference too would be the biggest goal for us. I know like every player on our team, those 2 losses we had, we did not like very much. We are very adamant about what happened and angry about what happened. So we worked to not let that happen again, to lose. We don't want to lose again.
Is it possible that that bad taste in your mouth that happened last year in the bowl championship game could actually be something that could really help you for this year to motivate you?
100%.
Yeah, I think overall for our team, that's the feeling we all like. That's the last taste we had in our mouth, was that feeling of walking off and watching all our brothers on their last game crying on the bus, because that was the last time those seniors will ever play. So that's kind of what we think about when we think last year, more than that championship.
And not even that is the ride home from Rutgers. I remember so specifically when we saw Shore Savage's post that we lost to Haddonfield, the amount of people that commented that were trash talking us, that like pissed us off so much. That was a moment in our.
You do know that round that you played in the playoffs wasn't around for a couple years. So you won the South Jersey Group 2. It usually ends. But you played the winner of the Central Jersey. So you have 2 state champions playing. Someone's got to lose. Unfortunately, there's a lot of teams that aren't playing anymore. So you're playing at this high level game that you're using as motivation, which is scary. Like other people are saying, dude, you guys are good, relax. And you guys are like, no, we're going after it. Now, there's other rounds this year. South Jersey, Central Jersey plays, and then they play the winner of the North Jersey 1, North Jersey 2, and only one champion. So that's going to be even more crazier for people because you're going to be able to keep playing, and eventually someone's going to have to lose their last game if you're good. But, I love the fact that you're using this as motivation where sometimes when you have everybody back, it's hard to figure out what's motivation. But you're in a different division, and you do have a target on you. Because I hear it from the other teams because they're pumped up because now you're in a division because you have some status, and there's some big games going to be out there for you all. Let's go. Last question. Tell me why it is so special to play at Point Boro under Coach Staub.
The brotherhood, honestly. Yeah. A nice, small, tight-knit community. You pretty much know everyone you're playing with. Like, they could be 5 grades below you, and you know them because there's only, 300 kids in a grade, not even. So you know everybody in the school. Everyone's rooting for you. Everyone's pulling for each other there, and Coach Staub really brings it all together.
Yeah, he does. Good point. Good point. Sam?
For me, I've always played with all my friends, and they're still playing now. Like, I joined when I was 10 years old playing football, and I still feel like the new kid because all these kids have been playing football together, and we've all been playing football together since we were so young. Mm-hmm. And also another thing is Coach Staub is also a fairly young coach, and he kind of connects with us more, and he understands us more than I think an older coach would. So, having him, it just kind of feels like more of he's our coach, but he's also our friend. Like, if we needed him, he'd be there for us, and that's what it feels like playing with him.
That's fair. Cole?
Yeah, just the connections with the coaching staff. They've all grown up together. Coach Staub's best friend is Coach O'Connor. They've been to preschool together. So it's like Sam said, we've all been playing since 4th or 5th grade. And coming up in 6th grade, we knew that we were going to be a state championship team come junior and senior year. We've been saying that for years. So just knowing that the team you can trust, you can have that chemistry that's been built for 5+ years, and continuing it all throughout your senior year. That's amazing.
Yeah, guys, great points. Great point. I'm going to tell you in a second what I like about Coach Staub. But, everybody breaks to a state championship. Every team I've been to some camps, and I hear teams breaking it, and I don't want to mention who it is. I'm saying to myself, you're not going to win 2 games, and you're breaking the state champ. Everybody does that. You actually broke it, and you did it. That's great part. But not everybody has that season you guys had. That was an incredible season. Mm-hmm. But where I think it's so special to play at Point Boro under Coach Staub is he's got high energy. He's got high energy. So he's got he loves working out with you guys. He loves to see you guys excel on and off the field. He loves to promote you guys on how you're doing on and off the field. Listen, I get many texts and calls from him, and he, he did it, and he's excited about the future too. He put that to rest, the championship, and now it's time to move on and get another one. And that's going to be your big thing is you want to get and do it again.
I will say Coach Staub does not accept shortcuts.
It's not defend the title; it's to win the title. Think of that.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things about playing for Coach Staub, though, is he doesn't really care too much. The W's come after. He'd rather you succeed as a person before, and the wins will happen the way he brings us up, the way he doesn't accept shortcuts, the way he makes you. You have to put in the work to see time on the field.
Good point.
So he's not, like the W's will just happen, but he wants you to be a good person more than anything.
Good point, guys. Good point. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Now we want to see how great a champions you guys could be this year with the view count of the high school preview show. This is coming on tomorrow morning. And then we're going to see where we stand with Point Boro. And what do you call that fan group? The Pit? The Panthers Pit?
Yeah.
The Pit? Just 3 letters, P-I-T, or is it Panther Pit? I'm calling you guys out. We're going to see how you are, Panther Pit. I see you on Friday nights. You're loud, you're vocal. Start retweeting, start sending it to everybody, and let's get 500 views, 6, 7, 800, because everybody's going to try and beat you in the top 20 in the preview view count. All right? I want to thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you.
Tell Coach Staub hello when you see him. And the Short Football Report will be at one of your workouts in the summer leading up into the season.
Perfect.
All right?
Thank you so much, Coach.
All right. Go Point Boro.